Check one, check two, check one, check two. Check, 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 check. Checking sound before the Athens Rock Lobsters take on the Blue Ridge Bobcats. One more check. One more check. Puck drop coming up imminently between the Rock Lobsters and the Bobcats. It's another day for the Rock Lobsters and another great day to be a fan of the Rock Lobsters. They could not have asked for a better start to their franchise's history after winning two straight against the Moccasins in Monroe last weekend. But it's a new weekend, and with a new week comes a new opponent, the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Can the Rock Lobsters drag the Bobcats to the murky depths, or will Blue Ridge stand highest on the mountain? Good evening, Crustacean Nation, and welcome to the Athens Rock Lobster Network. This is Matt Teen Rad, about to take you into your view of the Hitachi Energy Arena in Wytheville, Virginia, where the Blue Ridge Bobcats try to defend their home ice against your Athens Rock Lobsters. It was a more difficult venture, but the Rock Lobsters were able to sweep the series against the Moccasins with a late 3-2 win in Game 2 against Monroe. Athens opened the scoring in the first period after Philip Virgili found a wide-open Kaysen Gallant with a spin move in the low slot. The Moccasins answered back with a Kyle Stevens power play goal to make it a 1-1 scoreline into the first intermission. Gallant hit the double in the second period, scoring off a bang-bang play with a poke check turned shot right in front of the Monroe net. Brad Ryder scored his third goal in 2 games for Monroe, equalizing the score once again with 4:01 left in regulation. Fans in the Monroe Civic Center thought they found a winner late on, but the goal didn't count due to a penalty committed by the hosts. Shinkarik's wrister sucked the energy out of the rink as the Rock Lobsters celebrated a game-winning goal with just 50 seconds left on the scoreboard. Athens head coach Steve Martinson will try to keep the team's perfect record against the Bobcats, and their very young head coach Wojtek Zemleka, the 29-year-old from Czechia, is a former Fed player with the Carolina Thunderbirds and the Columbus River Dragons. Let's take a look at Steve Martinson's starting lineup, brought to you by Aikens Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. It'll be the team's top line in Garrett Milan, Malik Johnson, and Orca Weisblatt. Behind them will be the 2 blue liners, Riley Robertson and Carter Shinkarik. And starting in net, for the very first time for the Rock Lobsters, hasn't even been announced yet, Jack Bostedt, the 25-year-old netminder from Janesville, Wisconsin, a standout player for the College of St. Scholastica, and got his pro start last year playing 6 games for the Macon Mayhem. Here we could see the Blue Ridge roster being announced here via their home broadcast. Now we'll take a look at our First American Bank Impact Players of the Night. First, for the home team, you can see him on the second column there, second from the top, Jakob Wolf. The Czech forward was the highest goal scorer for Blue Ridge last season with 18 goals in 48 games, and he's also one of the most veteran players that this Blue Ridge team has to offer. For your Rock Lobsters, it will be Kaysen Gallant, the 24-year-old from Alberta, scored Athens' first 2 goals of the night last Saturday and also set up the Carter Shinkarik game winner with just about a minute left in that game. Rock Lobster fans, it is not too late to own a piece of hockey history. Head on over to fans.winwithdash.com. That is fans.winwithdash.com and search the Athens Rock Lobsters, or head on over to the Athens Rock Lobster Facebook page to learn how you can bid on autographed collectibles that you can't find anywhere else. Don't miss out on your chance to win autographed pucks. That auction ends Sunday at 6 p.m. With the Athens Rock Lobsters off to a strong start at 2-0, and now is the time to lock in your loyalty. Secure your season tickets and save big compared to single game prices. Plus, enjoy exclusive benefits like early entry and meet and greets with the team. Do not miss a moment. Get your season ticket today. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/season tickets. That's rocklobstershockey.com/season tickets. Also gives us a chance to take a look at the starting lineup for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Starting in net for them is going to be Connor Green, 25-year-old tender from Tampa Bay, Florida. Their D-line will be produced of Daniel Klinecki, the alternate captain, and Garrett Johnson. Also Justin Vernace, Jakob Wolf, and Aaron Ryback, the top line starting for Coach Zemleka today. It's going to be an interesting one. Just the second season in the Blue Ridge franchise history, and it did not get off to a glowing start in their first 16-33-7 in the 2023-24 season. That put them at 50 points, which was last place in the Continental Division. Of course, game being played on the ice of the Hitachi Energy Arena, a new name as of June, as it was formerly called the Apex Center. In the great town of Wytheville, Virginia, this is their season opener. Athens got off to the start for the Fed season last weekend. Blue Ridge taking you through their theatrical intro. So we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about what we saw from the Rock Lobsters in their opening weekend. It started out with an electric start to the season, and much of that was thanks to Garrett Milan. Garrett Milan, the player coach for this Rock Lobster team, and he was able to get off to an explosive start, scoring 2 goals in the opening 3 minutes of that game. They were welcomed to a raucous crowd in Louisiana, but because of those 2 early Garrett Milan goals, their faithful were quickly quieted. Cole McKechnie added on to that tally before Monroe got back into the game with a buried breakaway by Brad Ryder on the penalty kill to make it 3-1 after the first period. Orca Weisblatt would restore the visitors' 3-goal advantage with a wraparound shot that drew a video review from the officiating staff. However, the call was changed to good goal after it was determined that the puck had crossed the goal line after the net had left its moorings. The scoring in the second period would be split as Ryder redirected a shot to put the Moccasins within 2 goals once again. Monroe played a physical game and wanted Athens to engage a little more than the team did, which ended in disciplinary issues for Monroe and consistent power plays in the second half of the third period, and more stellar goalie play from Josh Rosenzweig saw Athens take a 7-2 advantage late on thanks to power play goals from Carter Shinkarik, Kaysen Gallant, and Chris Hunt. Now, we talked a little bit about performances in that first game from Cole McKechnie as well from Josh Rosenzweig. Unfortunately, those are 2 players that will be injured for this game against Blue Ridge. Unsure if they're going to make their return to the lineup tomorrow night. But 2 big losses, 2 players that have already stapled their presence into Steve Martinson's team, hoping that they can come back sooner rather than later. But that opens up the opportunity for someone that the Rock Lobsters just signed, Jack Bostedt, starting in net tonight. Someone who isn't even on the online roster yet for the Rock Lobsters. He played D3 hockey with College of St. Scholastica, and his first year of pro hockey last year with the Macon Mayhem. He played 6 games in the SPHL and went 2-4-0. But very, very excited was Coach Steve Martinson at getting him into a Rock Lobsters jersey. Looks like the camera's going here, and the Bobcat fans trying to get rowdy in the Hitachi Energy Arena. They're looking for a bounce-back year after not getting started the way they wanted to in their franchise's history. And it's going to be interesting. While the Blue Ridge Bobcats are a team that have a year more experience in this league than the Athens Rock Lobsters do, taking a look at the 2 rosters, it's a very, very young Blue Ridge team in comparison to Athens, who have a very, very veteran side. And leading their team out to the ice is Connor Green, the netminder from Tampa Bay, Florida. A big, big fan of Andre Vasilevsky, and if you're a netminder from Tampa Bay, Florida, who else can you be a fan of? Someone who's absolutely just made a name for himself in the goaltender position in the NHL for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Taking a look at this Blue Ridge team, their most veteran player is Jakob Wolf, who we talked about in our Impact Players segment. 28-year-old forward from Czechia. Highest goal scorer for Blue Ridge last year, scoring 18 goals in 48 games. He himself has 3 years of FPHL experience with Delaware, Elmira, Battle Creek Rumblebees, and the Mentor Icebreakers. He's been playing pro hockey since 2015. We talked about the new arrival in Jack Bostedt for the Athens Rock Lobsters, but there is someone else that we will be seeing in a Rock Lobster jersey for the first time. That's 26-year-old forward Brandon Picard. He'll be wearing number 76 tonight, the 5'11" forward from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Last year was his first pro year and played with 4 different teams, including Port Huron, who he played 24 games for, scored 13 goals, assisted 10 for 23 points. He also saw time with Roanoke, Knoxville, and Macon. He is a point-per-game player in his 24 games in the FPHL, and that was something that Coach Steve Martinson, in my talk with him this afternoon, was really excited about at getting Brandon Picard into his numbers. And, of course, those numbers necessary now with McKechnie out with his injury. And perhaps another storyline to talk about, Riley Robertson into the starting five tonight for the Rock Lobsters, taking the place of Troy Murray. Riley Robertson knows this league well. He won 2 straight FPHL Commissioner's Cups in a row with the Danbury hat tricks. Also has professional experience overseas in Poland. The Blue Ridge Bobcats introducing the entirety of their team, as is tradition on opening night. This is a reminder to go out and support those who have supported this Athens Rock Lobster team. That includes Akins Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. Don't forget about the locally owned Stanfield Air Systems, First American Bank, and Terrapin Beer Company. The Terrapin Tap Room was absolutely electric on Friday night. Some great pictures that I saw coming out of there. So head on over to the Terrapin Tap Room at 265 Newton Bridge Road in Athens, Georgia. One of our great friends are the Terrapin Beer Company. Also want to give my thanks to all the fans who've reached out and had nice things to say about the broadcast last weekend. It has been an absolute honor to be chosen as the first voice of the Athens Rock Lobsters. It's such an electric experience to be brought on to this team that has already been so professional in their dealings with me and their dealings with the team. It's going to be a fun 2024-25 season, but the biggest thing that we are excited about is to get into the Akins Ford Arena. It is just going to be fantastic to hear the fans in the Classic City really light that building up. We cannot wait for December. It cannot come quick enough. I'm going to try to give you some volume to try and soak in.
Carson out come the Athens Rock Lobsters. You know, I had to do that once tonight.
Sounds like our team is coming out on the ice. So edging closer to puck drop here. Going to try to get you some audio of the national anthem when we get there.
Garrett Millum, that's a name to watch tonight. He's put up a lot of points this year.
One of the
so
team
far.
leaders in points, 2 goals, 3 assists last weekend in Monroe. He'll be on forward along.
The Hitachi Energy Arena introducing the Athens Rock Lobsters starting five. As we talked about, that includes Riley Robertson, Garrett Milan, Carter Shinkarik, Malik Johnson, Orca Weisblatt, and the first ever start for the goaltender, Jack Bostedt. Turn it over to the national anthem.
Served as the officiating supervisor at the collegiate level for nearly 25 years.
And we're all through with the national anthem. That means it's hockey time in Wytheville. See the Athens Rock Lobsters starting five getting started to try and get their skates warm. Curious to just how much this Rock Lobster team can catch Blue Ridge by surprise. In my dealings with the Monroe team, and here we can see a symbolic puck drop here. Philip Virgili has very quickly grown a mustache. I just saw him last week. Very impressed with just how quickly he's done that. And number 93, Carson Andrioli. No doubt going to be a leader for this Blue Ridge team this season. Pleasantries exchanged between the officials. I don't know about you watching from home, but I'm ready for some hockey. Yeah, it looks like the fans in Wytheville are as well. Shinkarik, Robertson, the two blue liners, Milan, Weisblatt, and Johnson, the forward line. Puck going up the ice in Athens' offensive zone. Dropped it back to Shinkarik, who exchanges the puck with Robertson. Up the left wing, Milan gathers, takes it over the line, loses out on it. Puck on the other side. Weisblatt looking to try and get that puck into the slot and end up clearing the other way of the ice. Playing the puck is Bostet. Something we saw Rosenswag do a lot. So interesting, the tactics here are going to be the same despite the new goalie. Milan trying to look for Malik Johnson. He tries to spin the puck behind the twine. Johnson wins it back, flips it back into the offensive zone. But here come Blue Ridge the other way through Andrioli. Andrioli tries to test Bostet, who makes his first save as a Rock Lobster. Puck brought down by Vlasov. Blue Ridge trying to open up a chance to open up a shot. I think that one bounced off one of their own. Malik Johnson still on the ice. Looking for a chance to clear the puck and almost turns into a great pass for Gayson Gallant. A lot of puck to be seen for the Rock Lobsters thus far. Garcia dumps it in. Trying to spin out with the puck was Brandon Picard. Again, playing his first game just like Jack Bostet. Very familiar, as is Bostet, with the state of Georgia. Both of them alumnus of the Macon Mayhem. Up with speed. Gallant has a chance to turn with it. A backhand attempt from Hunter Alden. Tries to pass it to the blue line. But his laser sights aren't entirely focused early on in this game. Rock Lobsters have done a good job of winning possession back at their blue line, but haven't been able to keep Blue Ridge pinned just yet. Chris Hunt tries to take the puck into the corner. And there it is again. Portillo almost wins it at the blue line, but can't keep the puck in Athens' offensive zone. A shot from number 9, Garrett Johnson. Good spell here for the Bobcats. Puck wrapped all the way around, but Daniel Klenecki unable to save that puck from going into neutral area. Had a chance to talk with Athens head coach Steve Martinson earlier today. As we see the shot from Johnson force a great save to the left from Connor Green. Perhaps one of the best opportunities thus far in this game. About 3 minutes, 20 seconds into the contest. Puck blown, and we'll have a face-off in an offensive area for the Rock Lobsters. Milan trying to make a nuisance of himself that he's so good at doing. Rister, big opportunity off the bar, no goal, says the referee. Aaron Ryback rattles the iron. Back and forth this game goes over the last couple minutes. Big risk on the pass right out in front of the net. Garrett Milan turns on the burners. No icing, says the official. This gives a chance for the Bobcats to settle the puck in their own area. Over center ice. Puck bobbled. And now here comes Picard, trying to make a name for himself in his debut. And Connor Green has to freeze the puck after making the save on the Montreal native. So big opportunity for the Rock Lobsters turns into a great opportunity from Aaron Ryback that rattles the crossbar, and then back the Rock Lobsters go through Brandon Picard and force another save out of Connor Green. And there's another one, this time a shot from the blue line. Philip Virgili lining up for the draw. Losing out to Devin Sanders. Philip Virgili, the Swede out of Malmo, had that fantastic spinning pass on Kaysen Gallant's first. Trouble here for the Rock Lobsters. Puck flittering all around the net. And flittering all around the ice is Devin Sanders. He gets knocked hard behind the net by Virgili. Puck up the far boards. Drifting back behind the net. Vlasov puts one towards the net, trying to get there is Andrioli. Really good spell of puck possession here for the Bobcats. And it ends almost for a great chance for Kaysen Gallant. Shoots one wide. Garrett Johnson can gather. Knocks one up the far ice. Matt Garcia does a great job. Rock Lobsters almost spin out of their defensive zone with a couple of great passes, but the last pass just lacking a little bit. Rock Lobsters forcing a turnover in a great area of the ice. In the early going, both teams lacking a little bit of fluidity in their passing. Hunter Alden pins someone against the boards. A gritty line is this, which includes Alden and Portillo. I don't think anyone knew where that puck was until it emerged in front of Riley Robertson. Blue Ridge with speed. Poke check from Alden. Great shot in the high slot and an opportunity for Andrew Uturo. Portillo dumps it in. And some are saying that puck went over the glass. I think asking for a penalty potentially, but it doesn't look like Portillo is heading to the box. Nearly 7 minutes passed in this first period. And a couple of great opportunities for both teams thus far. And it's really felt back and forth, but both opportunities that have come for both teams in this game seem like they've come almost off counterattack opportunities where a team has a great scoring opportunity and then they take the puck with speed up the ice. They get their own opportunity. Neither team has really been able to set themselves up with success to try and play their own game. We'll see if that changes as time goes on. But in the meantime, we'll have a chance to thank some of our sponsors for the Athens Rock Lobsters. How about Athens Area Urology? With Athens Area Urology, you're in good hands. Plumber Pro, Hospitality South, Athens Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Classic City Flats, the home of the Rock Lobsters, Harmon Enterprises, and Roto-Rooter. Can't make every game? No problem. The Athens Rock Lobsters are 2-0, and now is your chance to pick the hottest matchups with our flexible mini plans. Whether it is weekend games or rivalry nights or themed events, choose what works for you and be part of the action. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/tickets. Face-off won by the Bobcats. Weisblatt to Shinkarik. We've seen that wrist shot once already. It was the game winner in Monroe. It forces a save out of Green. But Blue Ridge able to take the puck the other way. Here comes Garrett Milan. Milan almost tries to drag that puck back before unleashing the wrister. He gets checked in that process. Soterios Karageorgis is troubled by the 6'6" D-man Riley Robertson. Johnson. Drop pass behind him. He gets the return. Johnson shot from the corner and another save from Connor Green. Green has done a great job thus far of really just swallowing up these high-speed shots from the Rock Lobsters. Let's see if the Rock Lobsters can make something off the offensive zone face-off. Virgili loses out to Devin Sanders. But this Athens team not giving up on that puck. Devin Sanders almost faked a backhand wrister. Sends a puck outside of the zone. Chaos in front of Bostet's net. Looks like there's a penalty upcoming, and it's going to go against the Rock Lobsters. going to be Joe Colatarsi, who sends the Rock Lobsters to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill for the first time tonight. So Blue Ridge go to the power play. They've had some good opportunities already. Let's see how this Rock Lobster penalty kill deals with more pressure in their zone. Puck cannot be cleared out by Shinkarik. Wheeled around the zone, and here comes Malik Johnson. Looking for the shorthanded opportunity. He looks for the pass for Milan, and Milan cannot get the shot off. Wristed shot from the far corner, saved by Bostedt. Back to the line. Clever little pass. Andrew Utero doesn't get there before Robertson. Both units will change on penalty kill and power play. 1 minute to go in this man advantage for the Bobcats. Puck dumped in the zone, fetched on the other side by Andrioli. He leaves it. Vlasov. Slap shot, goal! The Blue Ridge Bobcats make the most of their man advantage. Aaron Ryback lets one go with the slapper on the power play, and it's Blue Ridge who bite first. Taking another look at that, perhaps just not enough pressure on that puck as it was set up from Vlasov here. Quick pass along the blue line, and Aaron Ryback has scored Blue Ridge's first goal of the 2024-25 season. So back to even strength for these two teams. And the Rock Lobsters will be hungry to try and get themselves on the scoreboard and even this thing up at one apiece. However, important offensive zone face-off win from Blue Ridge. Portillo does well to fight off the challenge there. Portillo, slap shot from the blue line. Would have been poetic there if Athens had got one back in that fashion, but puck frozen by Connor Green. To my knowledge, don't think that there is, I do think there is an issue with the scoreboard here. We are streaming this broadcast straight from Blue Ridge, but I do believe it is a 1-0 game. Virgili wins the puck back in a good area. Wrist shot. Virgili tries to sweep up the attempt from Murray. Virgili wheeling and dealing behind that goal line. Ends up flipping it to a Bobcat. It's escorted, the puck is, by Devin Sanders into this offensive area for Blue Ridge. Really good pressure that we've seen in this middle portion of the period from Blue Ridge. Virgili trying to alleviate some of that pressure. Puck batted down, straight down to Ryback from Klinecki, the goal scorer. Another shot from the blue line almost bounces in an advantageous position for the Bobcats. Malik Johnson with a great poke check. Springs up in a good area for Milan. Shinkarik did not get the pass that he was looking for, though. Was trying to release a shot. Ends up with an opportunity on the other side of the ice for Joel Frazee and the Bobcats. Feeling like a little bit of a tennis match here. Shinkarik gets dispossessed, but the puck finds Malik Johnson. Better spell there from the Rock Lobsters, but here come the Bobcats once again through Karageorgis. He loses out to his fellow number 14, Carter Shinkarik. Little bank pass. Portillo with a wrister, and it's high above the net. Good tenaciousness there from Chris Hunt. Trying to make it a one-on-one and windmilling around Matt Garcia. Was a Bobcat with great speed going towards the net. We're going to commercial here, so a great opportunity to thank some of our sponsors for the Rock Lobsters, including Aero Exterminators, Northeast Distributing Company, Aegis Trust Company, De Palma's Italian Cafe, Leslie Jones Law, Porterhouse Grill, Farm Burger, Fox's Pizza, and 23 Design. Also, Rock Lobster fans, it is not too late to own a piece of hockey history. Head on over to fans.winwithdash.com. That's fans.winwithdash.com and search the Athens Rock Lobsters. Or head on over to the Athens Rock Lobster Facebook page to learn how you can bid on autographed collectibles that you can't find anywhere else. Don't miss out on your chance to win autographed pucks. That auction ends Sunday at 6 p.m. So about 7.5 minutes left in the first period. Here in the home of the Blue Ridge Bobcats, the Hitachi Energy Arena in Wytheville, Virginia. Rock Lobsters not having great face-off numbers tonight. Somewhere they need to get better in this game. Better composure there, trying to play out from the defense. Up the boards from Portillo. Puck never got to him. Garcia has to chase this one. His pass gets intercepted. Sent the width of the ice. Round it goes. Garcia has a chance to make amends, does so with a pass up to Hunt. And Portillo able to dump and make the line change. Garrett Johnson waiting for a chance to spring his team forward. Up the left side of the ice, Jawan Davis. Get some hands in the face. Virgili. Nice move, and the Rock Lobsters doing a better job of alleviating some of that pressure, but have been unable to create any of their own in some time. Pass to the defense. Shot from the defense. Daniel Klinecki misses wide. Kolatarsi tries to spring someone up the center of the ice. Milan gets smacked hard by Justin Vernace. Going to be an offside call here as the play is whistled dead. Face-off one at center ice, Malik Johnson. Some really good poke checks from this Blue Ridge side. It's killed a lot of the momentum that's generated by the speed that this Rock Lobster team can play at. Shinkarik looks for a great pass to the slot. Malik Johnson doesn't get any contact to it. Orca Weisblatt around the net, back to Shinkarik. Looking for his D partner in Robertson. Back to Shinkarik. Trying to unleash a shot. Blocked by a body at the net. Weisblatt trying to create an opening. He loses out, and it's a 3-on-2 for the Bobcats. Really clever passing, but the shot was not of the quality from Aaron Ryback that was his opening goal. Jack Bostet will choose to freeze. About 4 minutes, 22 seconds left in the first period. Step aside. Just trying to get confirmation of the score here. Sounds like some fans are saying that it is indeed 0-0. And no, it has been changed as the stream is back up 0-1. Didn't see anything that would have explained why that goal would have been called off, so good to be getting that right. Blue Ridge with a 1-0 lead. Trying to make it 2-0 here, almost a wraparound attempt. Carson Andrioli with a great backhand wrister off the wraparound. Not something you see every day. Portillo able to backhand a puck behind the Blue Ridge net. I haven't seen a fantastic scoring opportunity in some time for the Rock Lobsters. Movali's dump gets blocked by a body. Then his shot eventually gets saved by Green. Andrioli over center ice. Tries to take it onto his backhand. He gets taken down. Fans want a penalty. They're not going to get one. Troy Murray. He ends up getting taken down. But he might have just sprung Philip Virgili. Virgili with some great moves ends up leaving the puck. Wheeled around by Picard. Kolatarsi thinks he has the puck with him. Pokes it towards Picard. Picard trying to get some of the dirty work done in the corner, as is Virgili, who leaves some of himself on Vladislav Vlasov. Less than 3 minutes to go in the first. Blue Ridge with a lead through the Aaron Ryback slap shot on the power play, which happened at the 9-minute, 30-second point of the first period. Now there's 2.5 to go. Garrett Milan has some wheels on him. Tries to weave through 2 or 3 Bobcats. Shinkarik can't touch that one, otherwise it would be offside. Gives chance for Matt Ernst to regroup for the Bobcats and try to create another attack here. Instead, Milan carries the puck over the blue line. Gets it up for Weisblatt. Weisblatt looking for a pass into an area that's riddled with Bobcats. Puck with speed up the ice, Milan. Tries to find the angle on the pass with Johnson. Two-on-one opportunity. Wrist shot blocked. What a great defensive play from Shinkarik on the opportunity from Vernace. 1.5 to go. Shinkarik. To his left is Alden. Alden dumps the puck in. Chasing on the other side is Shinkarik. Alden tries to wrap around. Great defensive play, though, from Stephen Ford. Each team hoping that the last scoring opportunity in the first period will be theirs. But it might be the Rock Lobsters here. Big opportunity backhand for Matt Garcia and a great save from Connor Green. Perhaps the best scoring opportunity for the Rock Lobsters in the first period comes with about a minute left, but Connor Green stands tall once again. Still time to make something happen, but sloppy passing in their zone creates something for Vladislav Vlasov. He's taken off the puck. Bobcats still have it, though. It has to be kicked. Here comes a 2-on-1 opportunity. Virgili waiting for the puck on the other side of the slot, and he's not going to be able to get there. And there it is. No, it just goes wide. What an opportunity for the Rock Lobsters, and they miss out on another one. A wide open net in the slot. Case and Gallant wheels around a pass, and that will do it for action. So the best part of that first period for the Rock Lobsters came with a minute to go in the first period. So plenty of good to build off of in the first for Athens, but it is the Blue Ridge Bobcats who go into the first intermission with the 1-goal lead thanks to Aaron Ryback on the power play. A slapper from him at the 9:30 mark made it a 1-0 game, and that is where it has stayed. Coming up here in the first intermission will be an interview that I had with Athens Rock Lobster head coach Steve Martinson. And off we go to the first intermission. Had a lot to talk about with head coach Steve Martinson today. And he was very positive about the team's performance post Monroe and that 2-game sweep for them. However, he acknowledged that there was still a lot to go and a lot to learn for his team. Let's see how that conversation went with him this afternoon. Matty and Rad, voice of the Athens Rock Lobsters, joined by head coach Steve Martinson the morning of the team's, right now it's the afternoon of the team's Friday game against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Coach Marty, how you doing this afternoon?
Well, it's funny that you said morning because we were going to do this in the morning, but I had a lot of moving pieces today. So we kept, what did we say? We were going to do it at 9, then we're going to do it at 11, then we're going to do it now. So we're getting it done now.
Well, no better time than the present. And, right now you're having a pretty good present. You couldn't have asked for a better start from your team after you won your first 2 games in the franchise's history against Monroe last weekend. What was your general outlook in how the team performed against the Moccasins? I remember after that first win, it was a 7-2 victory for us. and you came out of the locker room looking at me saying we could have played a lot better.
Well, I thought we could have scored a lot more goals. I thought we gave away some chances, and we made some plays that we just complicated things a little bit too much, and our power play missed a few opportunities in the 5-on-3. And it wasn't like I was griping. I was just saying, I thought we could have, and not trying to be arrogant or anything. I just thought, but then the next night they played much better, and we weren't capitalizing as much as we were the first night.
Well, it was an explosive start for Garrett Milan. He set the tone early, and as a player coach for you this season, I have to imagine that's exactly what you're looking for from your most veteran player, no?
Well, I'm going to tell him that you said that because we want exactly to score within the first 20 seconds of every game. That is a good coaching. I like that. But you know what? In all kidding aside, I mean, we do want him to be, a leader, and a leader by playing the game right, and so being ready to play and going out there and scoring on his first couple of opportunities was. Obviously that gave us a big start, and when it takes a lot of life out of the home team when the road team gets 2 goals in their first 4 shifts of the game.
I was also really impressed with Josh Rosenzweig. It felt like he really read the game well when he had to, stepped up and made some gutsy saves in both matchups. Has he solidified a number one slot for you among your goaltenders, or is there still research
Well,
to do in that area?
yeah, so he was great, and but he's hurt, and we don't know. He's got a shoulder injury, and he could be out just a week or two. He's on the IR, so he can't play until next Saturday anyway, is the earliest. But I don't think he'll be ready by then. So, yeah, he was outstanding, and he's one of those guys been kind of victimized by having bad numbers on bad teams, and now he's on a good team, and he's actually got a 9.35 save percentage. And I've been trying to get the league stat to be corrected all week, so he's got a 9.35, which anytime you have your goalie in that kind of position with the 2 goals against, you feel pretty confident about your goaltending.
It felt like you predicted how that first game against Monroe was going to go. I remember the conversation you and me had. You had told me, look, they're going to try and fight us, and we're just not going to play their game. Is that a trend that you could potentially see playing out with multiple opponents in the FPHL this season?
Well, so the reality is, so they had a couple of guys, one guy in the lineup each night they don't play. And if they don't play, I don't care if they're good fighters or bad fighters. I'm not going to have guys that play a regular shift fight guys that don't play. So it wasn't that we weren't looking to, if something happens and our players need to stand up for each other or themselves, or the other team doesn't like the way they're getting hit or whatever, our guys have the green light. It's just they're not allowed to fight guys that don't play. And a couple reasons. I don't want our guys to get hurt fighting a guy that has those guys. If you don't skate and hit, you don't have any input in the game unless you're a fighter and somebody fights you,
Right.
and that can help momentum. So, I kind of say you got to be able to play 3 shifts a period before we're even going to think about it. And teams will get to know that with us, that if they dress the guy that can't play, we're just gonna leave him on the ice, and it's gonna be 5 against 4 or 5 against 4.5, and we'll take advantage of him. But they couldn't even leave those guys on the ice. That's how bad the other guy didn't even play 1 shift the next night.
Justin Portillo eventually did drop the mitts in game 2. Was that part of the plan? I mean,
That's
go ahead, Coach.
The kid's name was Two Guns. He was playing 10 shifts a game.
Right.
He wasn't playing, so he was playing, and like I said, I mean, it's okay to if something happens and they're at home, it's the first game of the season. They're trying to get their crowd into it. They're down, they're just trying to get some momentum change. So we understand, and Portillo had talked to me about that stuff, but he was the player that's playing a regular shift, so I don't have a problem with if something warrants it. Then and he kind of forced Portillo because he just started swinging at him, and it's the right call. You can't just drop your gloves and start swinging.
Matty and Rad, voice of the you just
Contracted American League guys, it pushes a lot of good goalies down. So he's an All-American out of Scholastica, and so he should be a really good goalie, and he's got 6 years of pro in the SP last year. So I'm anticipating him being, a guy that can really on some of the things. Like, we weren't good defensively on the goals. We had full possession and turned the puck over and was our net. We made 3 or 4 mistakes right after that, and then the puck was in our net. And it is a game. It's the old cliche. It's a game of mistakes, and usually when there's a goal, there's multiple mistakes before it ends up in your net. So, but that tying goal was completely avoidable, and we just weren't very good on it. But in our defense, we haven't had everybody together, other than one day, because we had one player who got hurt this week in practice. So we've added a couple more guys, but in the next week we'll continue kind of to dial things in. But we had a training camp where most of our camp was only 12 to 14 guys on the ice. So getting everybody up to speed and on the same page, has been a challenge. So I'm kind of giving our guys a little bit of a, I'm not being too hard on it, but we can play a lot better as a group and smarter as, systematically.
There's a lot more film out there for this Blue Ridge team than there is for Monroe. They've played 2 exhibition games that you can watch, and they had their first year last year. Mind you, this is a very different Blue Ridge team than last year. What do you think are the strengths and weaknesses of this Bobcat team?
Well, I mean, they're a young team. So, really until I get to, because even though we have video, it's a little bit distorted. The camera is in a bad angle, and it's so they've got a younger team. We've got a veteran team, and I couldn't tell you exactly. I know they got some European guys that are typically skilled, but we'll see when the puck drops how they can keep up with us and what their real team speed. It's hard to tell team speed when you're watching it, from a camera that's a low angle, and that.
Right.
No, we've got good team speed, and we got a little bit faster with adding Picard in the lineup and a little bit bigger. So right now, really, I just look at what they're doing from an X and O standpoint, so that we know what we're going to do to counter what they want to do, and then it's really just my number one focus is getting everybody on the same page on our team. And when I say play the game right, like, there's times you're going to turn the puck over, but don't do low percentage plays and turn the puck over. Don't try to beat guys when you're the back. We just did some things that drop passes at the blue line that weren't really, back passes, and we just got to learn to play a little bit more efficiently, and I want to say a little bit more systematic, and just keep it simple, and just let our puck possession and our skill, take over the game.
You just brought up Brandon Picard. By the time the fans will hear this interview in the first intermission, they will have just watched their first period with 2 new arrivals for the Rock Lobsters, Brandon Picard and Jack Bostedt. Can you kind of take me through the 2 profiles of these 2 new Rock Lobsters?
Well, goaltending it's tough for goaltenders because there's so many NHL contracted American League guys. It pushes a lot of good goalies down. So he's an All-American out of Scholastica, and so he should be a really good goalie. And he's got 6 years of pro in the SP last year. So I'm anticipating him being, a guy that can really stop a lot of pucks. He's got good size. He's 6'2", and then Picard was a point of game guy in Port Huron. And I got him in the draft because, you're only allowed to protect 12 players. And he had told the team he had left to go to the SP last year. And so that's why he was available. But now he got released the other day. So he's with us. And he looked real good this morning in practice. He can skate and looks like he's got good puck skills. And I'm anxious to see him play tonight.
If there was any criticism of the team in the first 2 games, people would maybe look at the power play. And I know, with me being at practice and knowing the numbers that we didn't have in practice before the first 2 games, I know the power play is something it's hard to work on under those circumstances. What were your thoughts on the power play against Monroe, and was that something you were able to work on in practice this week?
Well, we've been so our power play is really 27%. We were 3 for 11, not 1 for 11, and they don't have the stats right. And I've been dealing with the league all week, just like trying to get our goalie has got a 9.35 and not an 8.23. So I'm not giving up on that. That's going to get fixed. So our power play is better than it looks on paper, but I didn't think we were very smart on the power play. We had too much time, guys, too many moving pieces, especially on our first unit. They just were all over the place. And I have no problem, moving and switching positions if you need to do that. But you don't need to we complicate it way too much. And we just try to simplify things and, let our skill and just make it a little bit easier to get quality shots on goal. But it's better than the stats say. 27% is normally a pretty good power play. So, and it's early in the year. So, right now, if you pick up a couple of 2-for-4s or something, you're bumping right up to 40% real quick. So,
right.
But I expect it to be a lot better tonight.
Last question from
it better be.
Well, do you think that do you know what your strongest 5 is on the power play unit thus far?
Well, I mean, I know what our top 5 guys, and I mean, you don't necessarily have maybe all your top guys on one, because you've got to have a quarterback and a wall guy on both units, and so you kind of give and take a little bit, because our second unit scored 2 power play goals,
right?
So, but our first unit should be deadly, and I'm confident that it'll be much better this weekend than it was last week. And last weekend, that group of players never worked on it once all week together, because we got guys late.
Right. Well, last question for me, Coach. Having about a week to digest a winning weekend and seeing what you've seen in practice since then, what is one thing that you want to see this weekend from your team that you didn't see last weekend?
Well, I mean, I think we had an opportunity to finish a few more checks. So, we're a little bit bigger than we were, this weekend. Well, actually not really, because we got Cole McKechnie out and he finishes his check. So I would like to, make sure that we're hard to play against. But the main thing is systematically simplify things a little bit. So we have the puck, we support the puck, and we don't give it away with just kind of, I don't want to say dumb plays, but I don't give it away with dumb plays, I guess. In the NHL, you can't say that, but I'll cut right to the chase. No, I don't want to be a dumb team. We're not a dumb team, but I don't, you know what I mean? I want to be smart in how we play. And, our back pressure was just okay. We didn't collapse to the slot with, you want to come hard to the slot and stop and start. A little bit too much spinning around the zone. That's the number one thing I would like to make sure we're better at, is not cruising around. You can't cruise and heel turn in the zone when we don't have the puck. People do that anticipating they're going to get a fast break and we're going to get it. But if we don't get it and you're cruising in the wrong direction, and that's what happened. That's what happened on their tying goal. We turned the puck over and we had guys thinking we're going to get it and jump in the breakout, and they ended up having us outnumbered in front of the net and scored to tie the game.
The Athens Rock Lobsters are off to an undefeated 2-win start to the 2024-25 season. They're looking to try and extend that tonight against the Blue Ridge Bobcats, and as well on Saturday. You're watching the Athens Rock Lobsters on the exclusive streaming home and official YouTube channel of Athens' first ever pro hockey team. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of all future posts and streams.
You're taking a look at the officials before we get started for the second period. For those of you just joining us, a 1-0 Blue Ridge Bobcat lead going into the second period. And it all came off the power play for the Bobcats. Number 77, Aaron Ryback, unleashed a slap shot at the 9:30 mark to make it a 1-0 game. Admittedly, the Rock Lobsters looked a little bit flat in that first period, but Steve Martinson will be hopeful going into the second, because the most electric part of that period for the visitors came in the last minute of the first period. So he'll hope that he gained some ground and generated some momentum before this team gets going into the second period. Looks like we got a little less than a couple minutes to go before the second period gets started. And that gives us a reminder for you to go and buy some more tickets. So bring your crew and enjoy the excitement. The Athens Rock Lobsters are soon to make their arrival in the Classic City with the Athens Ford Arena, and it will be the perfect time for a group outing. Enjoy discounted rates, block seating, and exclusive experience, perfect for businesses, schools, or youth teams. Rally your group and be part of the action today. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/groups. Rock Lobster fans, it's also not too late to own a piece of hockey history. Head on over to fans.winwithdash.com. That's fans.winwithdash.com and search the Athens Rock Lobsters, or head on over to the Athens Rock Lobster Facebook page to learn how you can bid on autographed collectibles that you can't find anywhere else. Also, a special thank you to some important sponsors for us: Athens Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Georgia; Stanfield Air Systems, we're locally owned; First American Bank, and, of course, Terrapin Beer Company. No doubt the Hitachi Energy Arena has some energy in it. A lot to be excited about going into the second period against the Athens Rock Lobsters, up 1-0. Athens just not getting off to that electric start that they did really in the first two games of the season against Monroe. But one of their best periods of that two-game series was the second game. So hopefully Steve Martinson's team will have a chance to flex that muscle once again. Looks like we're almost set for the opening draw in the second period. Athens looking for the leveler after getting dealt the 1-0 blow at the 9:30 mark of the first on an Aaron Ryback slap shot. It looks like Steve Martinson will go with his starters to begin the second period. Garrett Milan at center ice for the opening draw, going up against the goal scorer Ryback, and it's Blue Ridge who win yet another faceoff. That was a big story in the first period. Coming out to play the puck is Bostet, and the puck driven out of play for an early stoppage. Face-off in the offensive zone, Milan once again against Ryback. Shinkarik with speed around the net. Wheeled up the right wing. Puck on the far side. Milan trying to force an opening, and a mishandle of the puck by Shinkarik at the blue line forces the Rock Lobsters out. Orca Weisblatt, a goal scorer in the second period in the first game. Milan with a great stick handle move in the slot, but his shot goes over the net of Connor Green. Garrett Milan is someone who is just so quick in his skating. Looking for the deflection right in front of the net was Weisblatt. Malik Johnson with a heavy check on a Bobcat. Orca Weisblatt, I think, left something on the linesman there. Kolatarsi tries to send one a long ways away. For Philip Virgili, able to take it over. Not sure if he was looking for the shot or if he was looking for that puck to get tipped by Kolatarsi right in front of Green. But either way, Green makes the stop on it and freezes the puck. About a minute and a half gone in the second period. And a much better start to the second period than we saw in the first period from the Rock Lobsters. It was a back-and-forth game to start the first, and then eventually the Bobcats were able to pin the Rock Lobsters a lot of times. Shot blocked by a body. And here come the Bobcats with numbers going forward. Andrew Udero gets one off the tip of his toe. Trying to take the puck to the net. were the Bobcats. Troy Murray looking for an out. Finds one as he shifts one over to Kolatarsi. Very close to being in an offsides position there. But the Rock Lobsters are able to get the puck in deep before getting it back to the stick of Hunter Alden at center ice. It's one of those points in the game with how it's gone thus far for Athens and being down 1-0. They would love a power point to be coming at some point. Hunter Alden with a nifty move. Garcia, wrister, off the blade of the stick of Kaysen Gallant. Blue Ridge have come out of their own zone with speed many times tonight, but that pass is a letdown for the home team. Gallant with a great pass up the ice. Brandon Picard could just hack at it to try and tip it in. 2-on-1 opportunity, rather a 1-on-2. But a shot is wide against Bostedt. Portillo trying to be a thorn in the side. Puck dumped in, a chance for the Rock Lobsters to change. Good tenaciousness there from Chris Hunt. Almost got the puck with an open net. Wrister in between the two circles. Garrett Milan with speed once again, looking for the wrist shot, and a great save once again. Not knowing where it is Connor Green. He just squeezes the legs together, hoping that it's somewhere in his possession, and the whistle will blow. Garrett Milan, so good at getting in those breakaway positions. Not the first time we've seen him in that kind of position tonight, but a shot over the bar of Connor Green. It's edging closer and closer for the Rock Lobsters. Can they find the equalizing goal? They have the shot advantage at 16-12, but Connor Green has had a great 25 minutes in this one thus far. Milan wins the faceoff. Kolatarsi ripped from Milan. Wide of the net. Weisblatt with a check. Johnson back to the blue line where the shot came from. Weisblatt with a great bit of stick handling. Takes it behind the net. On his backhand, able to get it to Kolatarsi. Kolatarsi on the far side for Murray. His shot's wide. But the Rock Lobsters are able to win the puck back before it gets cleared out. Murray looking for a shot, looking for some contact before the puck makes it to Green's net. Weisblatt recycles up to Milan. Great pass from Milan. Weisblatt can't bury it. Connor Green is standing on his head right now. A couple of great back-to-back opportunities from Milan and Orca Weisblatt. Here come the Rock Lobsters again. Virgili's tipped. And the Rock Lobsters are able to score. Kaysen Gallant, the beneficiary of once again some hard work from Philip Virgili. And Gallant has his fourth goal of the year to lead this Rock Lobster team. It's Rock Lobsters 1, Bobcats 1. And it came just as the power play was about to come for the Rock Lobsters. Virgili, on his hands and knees, was able to direct a shot towards Green. Green gave up the rebound, which was then converted by Gallant. So at 4:38 of the second period, Gallant has leveled this at a goal apiece. They're already challenging in on Connor Green's net once again, who has to freeze yet again. Kaysen Gallant, one of the younger members of this Rock Lobster team, has just been an absolute electric wire for Steve Martinson in the early going of the year. Wrister from the blue line. Virgili looking to play make once again. Had the assist on Gallant's equalizer in this period. Gallant, the goal scorer, tries to send one higher up the ice. The big man, Riley Robertson, 6'6", with a drop pass. Gallant sticks his stick out to try and kind of just touch that puck into his presence. Up the far side. Good bounce for Blue Ridge. And just missing wide is Jakob Stahl. Man, this game's getting good. Ripper from Gallant. Hunter Alden tries to put it off the backside of Green. Bobcats with speed over the line, but the pass is wide of the mark from Utero. Chris Hunt chases. No icing, says the referee. Garcia tries to send a pass towards the high slot. Put back in by Alden. Hunt brought to the ground. And Alden skates it over the line. Hunt on the near side. He's going to have a chance to rip a shot, but it's right past Green. Garcia with a flipper over the bar. Alden trying to dance with the puck in the faceoff circle. Shot gets blocked. These blocked shots are leading to some great opportunities for Blue Ridge, and there might be one right here. Good save from Bostet. And Mavali is able to settle the puck right before the icing, and that'll bring the face-off right back towards Mavali. Justin Mavali, the 27-year-old D-man from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Played college hockey at Lebanon Valley College and Framingham State. Has played in the Fed the last 2 years as a Carolina Thunderbird last year and a Delaware Thunder the year before. Blue Ridge Broadcast went to commercial break. That gives you a chance to learn about the Wild Rumpus. That's right, the Wild Rumpus. Join the Athens Rock Lobsters at the Wild Rumpus on Saturday, October 26th, for your chance to win awesome prizes. The parade kicks off on West Hancock Avenue and winds through downtown Athens, ending with a massive street party on West Washington Street. You can find our booth across from Ding Tea by Athens First UMC. Do not miss the fun. We hope to see you there. And Rock Lobsters merch, man, isn't it so great to walk around with a Rock Lobsters shirt? If you have not secured your gear yet, now is the time. Head over to shop.rocklobstershockey.com today and gear up to show your Lobsters pride. Do not miss out. Get yours now. It's a great talking point at a party. You come, show up with Rock Lobsters shirt on. Someone asks, hey, Rock Lobsters, I know the song, but what is that? You can tell them all about Athens' first ever pro hockey team. And, of course, we also have a chance to thank some of our great, great sponsors for the Athens Rock Lobsters. But we're getting right back to the action, so we'll have a chance to do that a little bit later. Mavali takes a spill. Kira Georgis behind the net. Puck trickles out of the offensive zone for Blue Ridge. But here they are again, the goal scorer. Aaron Ryback with a great move to get it onto his stronger hand. Drives a shot with power wide of Bostet's net. Milan on one side of the puck handler. Johnson on the other. Riley Robertson steps up into the mix. Malik Johnson whiffs on the pass. Orca Weisblatt's there, though. Tips it into the corner. Gets the puck back. Weisblatt to Robertson. Was looking for the deflection. Shinkarik able to do the rescue job. Shinkarik again tries to use his foot to get it back into his grasp, but the puck flips out of the zone. Johnson leaves the puck at the line. Weisblatt watches it go over his head. Bostet, his pass out gets deflected, has to be quick to try and save the opportunity from Vlasov. Shinkarik. Wrister, saved by Green. He was hugging that near post on Shinkarik. No chance of that going in. Milan loses out on his stick. Was in the gear of Devin Sanders. Wrister, Bostet did the split to the left. Milan tips it, but only into the possession of Vlasov. Troy Murray cannot dance it out of the zone. Trouble here for the Rock Lobsters. Forehand, backhand from Andrioli. Making the grab on it was Bostet. Shots at 24-14 in favor of Athens. Rock Lobsters able to win the draw. Murray with the backhand. His pass intercepted once again. But this time he's able to escort that puck out. Was looking for the drop pass, though. Cut out by Utero. Off the pad of Bostet. The next shot just wide. Kolatarsi backhands one out. No icing, says the referee. Virgili in the slot. Off the pad of Green and out. Virgili again. Strong on the puck. Is brought down to the ice. The last time he was brought down to the ice, it ended in an assist for the Swede. But this time, the Rock Lobsters will have to regroup. Nearly halfway done with this game. Clever defending from Kaysen Gallant. Goes down to one knee to try and block the pass. Looks like the puck was played with a high stick. And it looks actually like there's going to be a high sticking call here. So after the Rock Lobsters made it a 1-1 game through Kaysen Gallant, they now go on the Paloma Park power play. So a big opportunity here for the Rock Lobsters to take the lead. They already made amends after the Blue Ridge Bobcats took the lead in the first period through a power play goal of their own. And now it'll be interesting to see. Maybe the power play in a very strong series against Monroe was one of the weaker aspects of the Rock Lobster team, but because of the numbers in training camp, it was something that was very, very hard for the Rock Lobster team to practice. But now they come in having lessons learned against Monroe. It'll be interesting to see this Rock Lobster power play unit. And if I were to guess, it's probably going to be pretty similar to their starting five of Garrett Milan, Carter Shinkarik, Malik Johnson, Orca Weisblatt. My question will be, Riley Robertson got the start in the starting five, but a little bit more of a defensive D. Curious if head coach Steve Martinson decides to go back to Troy Murray on the power play. 1-1 game in the Hitachi Energy Arena. 9:51 to play, and a man advantage for the Rock Lobsters after the high-sticking penalty committed by the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Face-off won by the Rock Lobsters. It's Virgili, actually, who comes out on the blue line with Shinkarik. Shinkarik, the quarterback of this first unit for the Rock Lobsters, and after the clearance, they have to recollect themselves. Orca Weisblatt, so strong on the puck, takes it to the corner. Looking for an option behind him, but it's cleared out once again. Not a great start to the Paloma Park power play for the Rock Lobsters. Everything coming through Shinkarik. Pass just a little bit too far for Milan. Remember, the first power play for the Rock Lobsters this season ended on a breakaway goal for Monroe. A slip would prevent that happening for Blue Ridge. Malik Johnson on the far side. He finds a great opportunity towards Virgili, who gets 2 bites of the cherry against Green, and the puck cleared out once again. And Shinkarik has to fetch once again. Do we get a change in unit here? Looks like we do. And Coach Martinson was impressed with the second unit for the Rock Lobster. Kaysen Gallant. Kaysen Gallant still. Pass back to Troy Murray. Gallant gets open with a wrister just wide. Puck can't be settled by Kolatarsi. 15 seconds left in the power play. Gallant wraps it around his body, back for Kolatarsi. Wrister from Murray. Murray once again. Power play over. Troy Murray. His shot gets blocked and the puck out of the zone. Power play was already over, but now that offensive zone pressure is over as well from the Rock Lobsters. Jakob Wolf, team's leading goal scorer from last year for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. 18 goals in 48 games. Puck in the neutral zone, carried over, and an offside call will stop the Rock Lobsters in their tracks. 7:13 to go in the second. We've got a tie game at 1 goal apiece. Rock Lobsters evened up the score after the Blue Ridge Bobcats took the lead in the first period off the power play. And then Kaysen Gallant scored his 4th goal of this early season in the second at the 4-minute 38-second mark off another great assist from Philip Virgili. The second time that we've seen that combination for the Rock Lobsters this season. It's getting a little bit contentious here on the far side of the ice. Justin Portillo just staring down, I believe it's the goal scorer, Ryback. Looks like we'll do the face-off again. Portillo still jousting. And Robertson puts it deep into the Blue Ridge zone. Puck settles for Hunt. Able to get it into the zone despite being hassled by Matt Ernst. Puck trickles in. Jakob Stahl over center ice, onto his left with great speed. Pass it to the slot. I think that puck just caromed right back into in front of Jack Bostet. Bostet was looking behind him for where the puck was and then looked down toward his knees onto the ice and saw that the puck just appeared before him, almost like a magic trick, but could have ended in danger for the Rock Lobsters. Instead, Bostet puts the glove over it and freezes it. Garrett Milan cannot win the faceoff. Orca Weisblatt tips a puck back towards the two-man D-man unit. Johnson. Milan. Such a great puck carrier as Milan. Back onto his left. Shot from Kolatarsi is wide. Weisblatt turns around, shot. Kolatarsi fakes the slapper, ends up wristing it. Puck goes into the corner. Weisblatt. Behind him, Milan. Back to the line. Kolatarsi. Weisblatt. Kolatarsi. Almost a deflection out in front. Kolatarsi has a chance to wrist one once again. Connor Green gets it right into his midsection, ends up dropping that puck, and then gets right back on it to freeze it. Have to give credit to the 25-year-old goaltender, Connor Green, out of Tampa Bay, Florida. 25 saves thus far in this one. Played roughly half the year last year for Blue Ridge. Had a 6-win, 20-loss record. Puck blown dead after Vlasov carried it over while one of his teammates was offside. Face off in neutral ice. Ryback and Virgili. Gallant tries to take the puck with him, brought down by Vlasov. The diving poke check attempted by Gallant. Great job by Virgili to leave it. Rather, that was the new man, Brandon Picard. Gallant. Robertson. Wrister from way out there. Brandon Picard gets himself right in front of Connor Green, but Green is still able to make the save as that puck dribbles out right in front of him. That gives us a chance once again to thank some very valuable sponsors for the Athens Rock Lobsters. Athens Area Urology. You're in good hands with Athens Area Urology. Plumber Pro. Hospitality South. Athens Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Classic City Flats. The home of the Rock Lobsters. Harmon Enterprises and Roto-Rooter. This is another reminder as well, Rock Lobster fans, it is not too late to own a piece of hockey history. Head on over to fans.winwithdash.com and search the Athens Rock Lobsters, or head on over to the Athens Rock Lobster Facebook page to learn how you can bid on autographed collectibles that you can't find anywhere else. Don't miss out on your chance to win autographed pucks. That auction ends Sunday at 6 p.m. So a 1-1 game here in Wytheville, Virginia, between the Bobcats and the Rock Lobsters. It was Blue Ridge who got out to the 1-0 lead through Aaron Ryback, a slap shot on the power play. But Kasim Gallant stays hot. And another great pass from his Swedish line mate, Philip Virgili, makes it a 1-1 game with less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. It just leads to excitement for this game because Blue Ridge won the first period. As it stands, Rock Lobsters winning the second. So it looks like it might all come down to who can better the other team in the third period. If not, we're going to the Athens Rock Lobsters' first overtime game this year. Puck mishandled at the blue line by Movali. Able to make the most of it, though. Make sure that he does not invite any pressure from this Blue Ridge team. Something that the Rock Lobsters did a lot in the first period, frankly. A much better played second period from Steve Martinson's team. Tipped into the zone by Utero. Here's Utero again. Windmills. Loses out on the puck to Hunter Alden. Portillo. Watches that puck skate past him. Riley Robertson gets hit hard from behind. Big opportunity. Big save by Bostet. Another opportunity is not converted. And another wrister, this time blocked by Portillo. 2, 3, 4 good chances for Blue Ridge. And Arister on the other side almost falls to Shinkarik to put one in into an open net past Connor Green. And an icing will send the puck back towards Connor Green's net. Jack Bostat with a 2 or 3 heroic saves there. Offensive zone draw for the Rock Lobsters. Another fake on the slapper from Shinkarik. Rister this time from that D-man core. Weisblatt behind Green's net. Shinkarik wants the puck and hand raised here. I think this is going to be a slash going against Garrett Milan. This spells trouble for the Rock Lobsters. Garrett Milan trying to state his case. But Blue Ridge will have yet another power play, and the Rock Lobsters will have another Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. A reminder that the power play is how Blue Ridge took the lead in this game. We'll see if they try to go back to Aaron Ryback for the slapper. Look at this penalty kill unit. Shinkarik, Virgili, Malik Johnson, and Riley Robertson. Puck won by Blue Ridge. And Riley Robertson able to pirouette and send the puck the length of the ice. Green decides to play it. Falls into the near boards for Ryback. Drop pass. Over center ice. Drop pass once again back to the blue line. I think that puck took a piece of someone's knee. Malik Johnson calls for the change. Dumped in. Shinkarik wins the puck. And it's this time the Shinkarik clearance makes it all the way to Green, and Philip Virgili leaves a little bit of snow into the mask of Green. Two minutes, 20 seconds left in the period. Meanwhile, the Rock Lobsters have shaved 38 seconds off the man advantage. Take a look at this second penalty kill unit. Hunter Alden, Kaysen Gallant, Joe Colatarsi. And it looks like Troy Murray is the other D-man along with Colatarsi. Colatarsi and Blue Ridge goaltender Connor Green, a couple hockey players with something in common. Connor Green out of Tampa, Florida. Colatarsi out of Fort Myers. Both of them grew up Tampa Bay Lightning fans. Another clearance from the Rock Lobsters, and now just a minute left on the power play for Blue Ridge. Klinecki. His pass gets cut out. Much better job on the penalty kill this time for Athens. 40 seconds left on Garrett Milan's slashing penalty. Over the line from Jakob Stahl. Puck moves past Bostat's net. Virgili trying to hold Utero there. Doesn't know the puck's already out. Rister from the corner. Saved by Bostat. Dumped into the zone. And it's settled by Bostat, and that's going to do it for the Blue Ridge power play. Milan out of the box is on the ice with Virgili and Johnson. Puck all the way back for Robertson. to his D partner, Shinkarik, who tries to spin one like a top towards Kaysen Gallant. Gallant falls down on the reverse hit. Garrett Milan into the offensive zone. Wrist shot wide. Robertson sends one off the back glass. Garrett Milan looks so hungry to score in this game. Looking for his first since the 3-minute mark of game number 1 against Monroe. Could there be one last opportunity in this? Another save from Bostedt, and that does it for action in the second period. So after the Blue Ridge Bobcats won the first period, the Rock Lobsters come back in the second and score through Kaysen Gallant. A great goal that was made by Philip Virgili on his side as he had fallen down to the ice, still able to poke one towards Connor Green. Connor Green was forced to the save and dripped out a rebound right onto the stick of Kaysen Gallant, who scored to make it a 1-1 game. So we go into the second intermission with it being a 1-1 game in favor of the Rock Lobsters, rather a 1-1 game tied up between the Rock Lobsters and the Blue Ridge Bobcats. We talked about Garrett Milan's explosive start to the season. Before game number 2 against Monroe, I had a chance to talk with the Athens Rock Lobster player coach about how the team started their 2024-25 campaign. Matt Tinrad, voice of the Rock Lobsters, here with Garrett Milan. Garrett, you really set the tone, and I think you're someone that coach is going to look to set the tone as a player coach this season. You did exactly that, scoring 2 early goals to get your team out in the front of the lead. How did that feel?
Yeah, it was good, obviously, to get that start for the team there and for the new organization. But just get the guys going there. I think it was a good start for the team for sure.
What kind of opened up for you? Where were you succeeding on the ice? What kind of positions were you getting in that you were so successful in scoring those early goals?
Yeah, obviously new season and kind of guys coming off, the summer kind of hockey, things like that. So a lot of guys are going hard in different areas, and I think you just kind of be a little more patient. So that first one, obviously, a little more patient, and the puck kind of scored it out to me. And then the second play, Malik made a good play on the wall, and I jumped it and kind of got that breakaway. So just kind of realizing when to go and when to not go in certain plays.
It really felt like you never let the Monroe team that really wanted to obviously play a physical game against you guys. You really stood up tall the whole time against that. How does that kind of play on your mind? What kind of positions were you getting in that you were so successful in scoring those early goals?
Yeah, obviously new season and kind of guys coming off, the summer kind of hockey, things like that. So a lot of guys are going hard in different areas, and I think you just kind of be a little more patient. So that first one, obviously, a little more patient, and the puck kind of scored it out to me. And then the second play, Malik made a good play on the wall, and I jumped it and kind of got that breakaway. So just kind of realizing when to go and when to not go in certain plays.
It really felt like you never let the Monroe team that really wanted to obviously play a physical game against you guys. You really stood up tall the whole time against that. How does that kind of play on your mind? How difficult is it to not play the game that they want you to play?
Yeah, I think throughout the season here, we got to realize that we're a fast, skilled team, and, teams are going to play however they want to play, but we got to dictate the pace for our side and really dictate that pace that they got to keep up to. So I think that's the main goal this year, is to use our speed and our skill to our advantage.
Who else stood out on the ice for you today, and how about the partnership early on, that first line? I believe it was you, Orca, and Malik.
Yeah, we've played. I played with Malik a little bit, obviously in Pensacola, and then Orca was there, so I kind of know where he is and where his thought process is sometimes in games. Obviously, it'll be new line, everyone's clicking, things like that. But I think the whole team as a whole played pretty good first game. Obviously, a lot of rookies coming in and playing their first professional game. Obviously, getting the nerves out of the way there in the first period, and then kind of settling in. So I thought we did a good job of that, and had a good third period to finish off the game there.
Last question, Garrett. It felt like you guys really got a feel for the power play as the game went on. Maybe you didn't get the start that you wanted on special teams in the first period, but you really got a feel for it, especially twisting the knife early in, late on in the game. What kind of was firing right in terms of the power play late on in the game?
Yeah, obviously I think it was, we haven't practiced much power play, obviously coming in with a short camp, things like that, guys in and out of the lineup coming back from Greenville. So I think, we're going to get better as the season goes on. Obviously, as the first couple of weeks go on, we get more reps, more repetition, where guys want to be, things like that. But I think once we just settled it down and kind of just relax out there and let the plays happen, that's what's going to happen for us. I think we got enough skill in that first unit, especially even the second unit, to just kind of relax and let the plays happen when they do.
Are you expecting more of the same tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously we got to have a big game tomorrow. It's like they're going to come out hard. Obviously they're playing in front of their home fans for the first time in 23 years, whatever it is, and they're going to probably get an earful from their coach, and it's going to be a hard game, hard-fought game tomorrow. It's going to be a lot harder than tonight for sure.
Thanks so much, Garrett. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wise words from Garrett Milan, who's been employed as a player coach for Steve Martinson this year. Interestingly enough, both of them attended St. Cloud State University, so a connection there between coach and player coach. Another person that impressed in that opening series against Monroe was goaltender Josh Rosenzweig. I had an opportunity to talk with him on the bus after Game 1, but of course that goes along with the news that Josh Rosenzweig experienced an injury in that series. Coach Steve Martinson seems to be hopeful that injury won't take him out for too long, but a shoulder injury is keeping Josh Rosenzweig out of this game. I had a chance to catch up with Josh after Game 1 of the Athens Rock Lobsters franchise history. Josh, it was a great game from you tonight. How did you kind of control the pace, how everything happened? Because you kind of rose up to the occasion many times during the game.
Yeah, it was great to finally start the season. I've been training really hard in the off season, and the defense did a really good job of clearing everything out and helping me see the puck better.
What do you think went right for you tonight? I mean, what exactly? It just seemed like everything was in place for you. You come out of there letting up only 2 goals, and one of them was on a breakaway.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those days where everything went the right way. My preparation before the game, my warm-up, I felt really good in there.
And then, of course, one of the most exciting moments of the game, you read that the breakaway was happening again. You sprawl out of your crease and you make the diving poke check. What kind of guts does that take to try and make that decision at the last second?
Yeah, I mean, in the moment you can't really second guess yourself. You just gotta make a decision and you gotta go.
It felt like so much was happening in front of you during the game, especially the third period. It got to be an extremely physical contest. How do you mitigate kind of the focus that you need as a goaltender, especially when so much of the action's happening, some distance in front of you in the third period?
Yeah, you just have to have the mentality of just being unfazed and calm, cool, and collected at all times. I mean, the other team, they're going to look to rattle me or get in my face, and you just have to just ignore it, block out the outside noise, and focus on the task at hand.
What are you looking to take from this game, and what do you think is going to come of it going into tomorrow's matchup?
Obviously, it was a great win, first ever win in Rock Lobster history. We got a great group of guys, and hopefully we're going to have a great season.
Thanks so much, Josh. Appreciate it. So hopefully sooner rather than later we'll see Josh Rosenzweig between the pipes once again for the Rock Lobsters. We're going to go into a break here, and we'll be back soon with more Rock Lobster hockey. Right now a tied 1-1 game in the second intermission. You're watching the Athens Rock Lobsters on the exclusive streaming home and official YouTube channel of Athens' first ever pro hockey team. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of all future posts and streams. Welcome back to the Hitachi Energy Arena, where the score is Athens Rock Lobsters 1, Blue Ridge Bobcats 1. With the Athens Rock Lobsters off to a strong start at 2-0, trying to make it 3-0 in the third period, now's the time to lock in your loyalty, secure your season tickets, and save big compared to single-game prices. Plus, enjoy exclusive benefits like early entry and meet and greets with the team. Do not miss a moment. Get your season ticket today. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/season tickets. And Rock Lobster fans, it is not too late to own a piece of hockey history. Head on over to fans.winwithdash.com. That is fans.winwithdash.com, and search the Athens Rock Lobsters, or head on over to the Athens Rock Lobster Facebook page to learn how you can bid on autographed collectibles that you can't find anywhere else. Don't miss out on your chance to win autographed pucks. That auction ends Sunday at 6 p.m. And actually, I just saw a link for that auction on the Athens Rock Lobster Instagram story. So if you want easy access to that, make sure you go on over to the Athens Rock Lobster Instagram story, and that you go ahead and follow the team if you haven't already. You can follow me on my socials at MattTeenRad everywhere, and MattTeenZeba on Instagram. And we are just about ready for action here in this third period. And what an exciting game it's been thus far. Probably a lot of laymen will look at the scoreline and think, oh, 1-1, how exciting can it be? But it has been a back-and-forth contest with Blue Ridge taking the lead in the first period on the power play through Aaron Ryback, a slap shot from him, lasered past Jack Bostet. And then in the second period, the Rock Lobsters answered back with a goal scored by Kason Gallant. Philip Virgili was the playmaker off of his back, was still able to direct a half shot onto the net of Connor Green, and Green was forced to make the save and then ended up leaking the rebound to Gallant, and Gallant was able to direct it past the 25-year-old goaltender for his team-leading fourth goal of the season. So it's all going to come down to the late stages of this game. Both teams will have 20 minutes to try and find a winner in this one. And if they cannot, then we will go to the Athens Rock Lobsters' first overtime period in franchise history. So a lot to be excited for in the remainder of this game. Of course, we're hoping the Rock Lobsters will find the winner. And they don't need to up our blood pressure at all by going into overtime. Looks like we're prepared for the opening draw. Milan and Ryback. Milan fighting for that draw, but once again, feels like Blue Ridge has gotten the better of the face-offs tonight. Turn around, shot right back into the area behind Bostet's net. Shinkarik with the puck. Milan trying to knit his way a route. Half-spirited shot attempt there from Kara Georges. Malik Johnson gets in front of that pass. It's all the way back to Bostet. Here's Johnson again. Dumps the puck for himself to chase. Virgili takes an elbow or a shoulder, is brought down to the ice. Andrioli, drop pass, wrist shot, saved by Bostet, comes right down in front of the net. Thankfully, the Rock Lobsters get there first. Johnson skates it out before making the change. Kason Gallant hastily chases. Andrioli almost gets caught with the puck in his own zone, but after a couple of pokes, he comes out into the neutral zone with it. Before dumping, Bostet comes out of his trapezoid to play it. Bostet has to play the puck once again into the skates of Picard. Big opportunity, and being turned all around is Utero. He may not know where he or the puck is. Alden takes a shove from Tristan Sim. And Kolotarski is able to get it to his teammate, Troy Murray. Frenetic start to the third here. Already 2 minutes gone. Rock Lobsters in search of the puck. Chris Hunt was the second man there, however. Bostet leaves it. Looks like the Blue Ridge stream has frozen. Something wrong with their camera. Feels like every time they switch views here, we're able to get a stream back. Garcia looking for a great pass. Portillo, the net is off its moorings after the shift from Green. Portillo over a body on the far side. Cannot see who that is. Teams will return to their benches. And someone in some pain down on those far boards from this perspective. Not sure if this will be the one view we have now with that stream kind of slowing down on the other view. Looked to me like it was number 16, Jakob Stahl. Luckily, he was able to skate on his own power back to the bench. Alternate captain Carson Andrioli didn't like something that he saw there. We're back to this wide view. Hopefully it's here to stay. Garrett Milan win the face-off. Wrist shot. Wide of Green. Garrett Milan. So quick with the puck. Wheels around, wraparound chance, another opportunity for Riley Robertson. Not the kind of player you expect to get into those kinds of opportunities. Garrett Milan finds Robertson once again. Tries to drag the puck, keeping it on his right-hand side, but a sliding poke dispossesses Robertson of the puck. Good shift there from the top line of the Athens Rock Lobsters. D-man Troy Murray dances into the zone, leaves the puck for Weisblatt. Weisblatt with a wrister. His shot gets blocked. Here's Weisblatt again. Wrister on the left side, just wide to the right of Connor Green. Potential 2-on-1 opportunity. Wrist shot, score. Blue Ridge have the lead once again. And wheeling around back towards the bench to celebrate is Devin Sanders. Devin Sanders in his first year of pros in the States. He does have a little pro hockey experience in Sweden's D3 league. And you see the wrister just beats Bostet, I believe, on the glove side. We'll see if we get another look at it. Doesn't look like we will. So at the 4:35 mark, Blue Ridge have taken a lead once again for the second time tonight. And the Rock Lobsters will have to chase this game once again. Good play here right in front of the net. Wrist shot saved. I think that was Virgili right in front of Green. But Connor Green has played a great game up to this point. I believe that's his 28th save. However, Rock Lobsters have an offensive zone draw with their top line and top D pairing as well. Malik Johnson looking for a path behind Green's net. He gets met with a brick wall. Milan almost evades taking a high stick there. Shinkarik. All the way down the ice, Stephen Ford. Malik Johnson with a wrist shot. Puck just getting lost in the fray here, getting blocked by the linemen on the view here. Orca Weisblatt, he's been one of the best puck handlers tonight for the Rock Lobsters. Gets it back onto his right. Left it for Shinkarik. And here comes Blue Ridge the other way. Another wrist shot. This time it's wide from Sotirios Karageorgis. Karageorgis, 22 years old, split time with Baton Rouge and Elmira last year. Rock Lobsters can't get their claws on a puck. Bounces to the far boards. First time wrister. Bobcats can't get a grasp of it. Would have bounced advantageously for them right in front of Bostedt. Little bit of discomfort playing out the back. Bostedt looked like he thought they had frozen it for a second. Instead, Hunter Alden has someone pinned in the corner. Puck whisked out of play. And it looks like it's going to be a delay of game call going against Justin Mavali. Wrong place, wrong time, and now the Athens Rock Lobsters will head back to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill for the third time tonight. Blue Ridge already 1 for 2 in the man advantage in this game, and they already have the 1-goal lead thanks to the wrister from Devin Sanders that beat Bostedt up high. Reminder that the Rock Lobsters are heading quickly to their home opener, which will happen in early December. If you can't make every game, that's no problem. The Athens Rock Lobsters are 2-0. They're going to try and tie this game and fight for a chance to make it 3-0. And it's your chance now to pick the hottest matchups with our flexible mini plans, whether it is weekend games, rivalry nights, or themed events. Choose what works for you and be a part of the action. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/tickets. And Rock Lobster fans, it is not too late to own a piece of hockey history. Head on over to fans.winwithdash.com and search the Athens Rock Lobsters, or head on over to the Athens Rock Lobster Instagram story to learn how you can bid on autographed collectibles that you can't find anywhere else. Don't miss out on your chance to win autographed pucks. That auction ends Sunday at 6 p.m. Back in action on this power play for Blue Ridge. Feels like Athens have to be perfect in this penalty kill for a chance to get back into this game. You cannot risk the 3-1 here this late on with how difficult it has been to score goals for Athens in this first contest against Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge look like they've taken a step this year. Blasov. Back to the blue line for Klinecki. Pass cut out, and the Rock Lobsters will make the clearance. Devin Sanders. Still Devin Sanders. Good defensive play for Milan. If anyone can make it happen on a 2-on-1 opportunity, it's him. But he gets cut out by Jakob Stahl. And looks like We've got a little bit of a tussle there between Malik Johnson and Lucas Roth. Lucas Roth was originally in my roster as number 20. And it looks like Malik Johnson is going to join Movali in the penalty box. So a difficult task becomes even more difficult as a Leslie Jones Law penalty kill will go to a 5-on-3 unless there was someone taken on the other side. Looks like someone has called a timeout. So the way this will go is this will be a 5-on-3 for 45 seconds before it will go back to a 5-on-4 for a minute 15. But not looking good for the Rock Lobsters, who have 2 men in the sin bin with 12:15 to go in the third. Believe it'll be the first time we've seen a 3-man unit on the penalty kill for Steve Martinson this year. Thinking it'll probably be Milan, Shinkarik, and Robertson. And it looks like that'll be exactly who it is. Bostet goes back to his net. A 5-on-3 power play for Blue Ridge. This is going to take some heroics from the visitors. After the roughing call on Malik Johnson. Face-off won by Blue Ridge. Slap shot! Wide. The goal scorer Ryback misses. Has another chance. This time the slapper comes from Klinecki. Ryback elects to pass instead of shoot. 7 exchanging with 77, Klinecki and Ryback. Right in the slot, flipped up right into the helmet of Bostet. Bostet watches behind him as the puck is passed to Klinecki. Another slapper from Ryback. Milan loses out on his stick. He wants the hold, and then he kicks it up the ice. What a great defensive play as the Rock Lobsters get a skater back in Movali, and he's able to clear the puck up. Really good start on the 5-on-3 for the Rock Lobsters. Minute left to go in this one-man advantage. Bit of skill on the puck from Utero. And the puck is going to be frozen by Bostet. We said it was going to take a little bit of heroics from the Rock Lobsters on the 5-on-3. Feels like that's exactly what we saw. A couple of great saves from Bostet on some slappers, and then Garrett Milan loses his stick and ends up making a great defensive play, kicking the puck up the ice for it to be cleared by Justin Movali, who just came out of the box. Still a chance for the Bobcats to bite on their power play. Virgili will take it up. Virgili has a Bobcat sliding out in front of him. Kolatarsi pokes it in. Good offensive pressure on this penalty kill from the Rock Lobsters. But with this man advantage, they haven't looked closer to finding the equalizer as we're nearly halfway through the third period. Dumped into the corner. Kolatarsi with a chance to clear. Puck played with a high stick, but it's whistled off. Alden. Malik Johnson back on the ice. Alden tries the close angle shot. Gallant Malik Johnson pokes it back, and it might end up in a 2-on-1. Good skate back there from Shinkarik. It's tipped just wide of Bostet. Robertson into the zone himself. Great pass to his left. Wrist shot from Gallant. And it's blocked out in front by Stephen Ford. I don't think they know where the puck is. I think Ford is looking for it in his jersey. Gives it back to the official. A great penalty kill from the Rock Lobsters as we go into another commercial break. And a reminder that you can join the Athens Rock Lobsters at the Wild Rumpus on Saturday, October 26th, for your chance to win awesome prizes. The parade kicks off on West Hancock Avenue and winds through downtown Athens, ending with a massive street party on West Washington Street. Find our booth across from Ding Tea by Athens First UMC. Do not miss the fun. We'll see you there. So the Rock Lobsters will have some gas in their tank after a great penalty kill. However, they're a goal down now off the fantastic wrist shot from Devin Sanders to make it a 2-1 game in the third period. The Rock Lobsters have not found themselves behind in a game before this first game against Blue Ridge. We're down 1-0, and now we're down 2-1. So can they fight back for a second time to give themselves a chance to find the winner, or even a chance to send this game into overtime? We've also got some new interesting shootout rules in the FBHL this year. Maybe we'll have a chance to see those firsthand in tonight's game. But first, we need a Rock Lobster goal. Garrett Milan wins the offensive zone draw. Back to Robertson. His shot, low power, gets blocked, and it sends the Bobcats the other way. Milan able to wrangle its way back. Shinkarik tosses a puck to the far side. There's a decision to make there, I think, for the officials for a delay of game, but it looks like they're going to decide against it. Good to see. The last thing that Steve Martinson's going to want to see in this game is another Rock Lobster heading towards the penalty box. Milan with another face-off win. That's an area in this game where the Rock Lobsters are growing. The disappointing part of this matchup is looking up at the shot tally. 31-22 in favor of Athens, and yet the 2-1 lead. Slapper from the line. Missing the target. Directing traffic is Bostet. Getting familiar with a new team out in front of him. Weisblatt. Shot from the far side. Malik Johnson trying to get into that crease and direct a puck in before it's eventually flipped out by Ryback. Aaron Ryback, I don't think, was listed on the roster that was on the Blue Ridge website just a couple days ago, and yet he's made a name for himself already, scoring the first goal of the Blue Ridge season. So perhaps he's a man to stay. Kason Gallant, he feels like a good candidate to get Athens back into this game. Troy Murray loses out on the race to Matt Ernst, who tries to traverse that puck up the far boards. Kason Gallant using his strength to wheel away from pressure. Wrist shot, Gallant almost gets a deflection on it. Virgili fighting to get the puck back. The Rock Lobsters win possession in their offensive zone through Kolatarsi. Virgili backhands it, but right into the stick of a Bobcat, and it's slapped into the zone. Bobcat was brought down by the trip there, and another penalty for the Rock Lobsters. This time it's Colatarsi who sends Athens to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. And a little bit of self-inflicted wounds from the Rock Lobsters in this game. 7 minutes to go, and they'll go to yet another penalty kill. They were forced into the heroics on the 5-on-3 earlier in this period, and they'll have to be perfect yet again here on another Blue Ridge power play. Milan trying to dig himself into the pressure and dig the puck out of it. Johnson able to spring himself. Can he find Milan on the far side? His pass is just a little bit too loose. Good pressure from Alden, who finds himself on this second penalty kill unit. Puck into the corner. Back for Andrioli. Drop pass. Klinecki. Another slapper. Ryback looking for his second of the night. And a great save from Bostet. Bostet doing his best to make sure he doesn't get beat on the slapper from Ryback again. As this third period goes on and a power play remaining for Blue Ridge, it feels like they could potentially find a dagger here if the Rock Lobsters aren't careful enough. Troy Murray able to pirouette himself out of pressure. Puck up the near side. Hunter Alden tries to switch the puck placement onto the far boards. That effort gets blocked. Five minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Rock Lobsters need a goal to get back into this one. Malik Johnson still waiting to come out of the penalty box. So the power play clock isn't going, but Rock Lobsters still on the penalty kill, and Colatarsi actually rather makes his way out of it. Might be able to make something happen here. Shinkarik. Wraparound pass to the far side. Gallant trying to wriggle free. Back to Shinkarik. Pass to the far side. Riley Robertson takes his eye off the puck. And it skips around Chris Hunt. 2-on-1 opportunity for Blue Ridge. What a great defensive play from Virgili. Doing it on both sides of the ice. Virgili getting into the back of Andrioli, who's pinned to the boards by both the Swede and Riley Robertson. Less than 5 minutes to go. This puck being stuck on the boards does more good for Blue Ridge than it does for Athens, but Riley Robertson able to drive away with it into the corner for Shinkarik. Shinkarik gets the puck back. Slap shot. Saved by Green. Chris Hunt shrugs his shoulders in a little bit of frustration there. 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in this game. We'll see this replay on how this play developed. Didn't get a good look at who made the shot there. I believe it's Matt Garcia. We go to another commercial break. You know what's great? Walking around with a Rock Lobsters shirt on, Rock Lobsters hat, or maybe even a Rock Lobsters jersey. Rock Lobster fans, if you have not secured your gear yet, what are you doing? Now is the time. Head over to shop.rocklobstershockey.com today and gear up to show your Lobsters pride. Do not miss out. Get yours now. I know I love walking around with my red Rock Lobster t-shirt, getting questions about Rock Lobsters. It looks like a sports logo. Who is that? And, of course, it is the first ever pro hockey team in the Classic City. We cannot wait to hear the fans roaring in the Aikens Ford Arena in December. But let's do the first things first. We need to find a goal and get back into this game. Rock Lobsters down 2-1 after Blue Ridge found the lead in the third period off the wrist shot goal from Devin Sanders. Looks like the ice being worked on here by the crew here. Rock Lobsters have somewhat had some self-inflicted wounds here in the third period with the amount of times that they've had to go on to the penalty kill, which included a 5-on-3. And while they haven't conceded on those Blue Ridge power plays, they haven't done themselves any favors when it comes to trying to create their own pressure offensively. So let's hope that they can stay out of the sin bin here in the last 4-minute 18 seconds. Milan wins the faceoff. Johnson back to the blue line. Shinkarik, backhand wrister into the corner. Johnson trying to dance himself out of a sticky situation. As a puck gets poked out, he'll have to go fetch. Shinkarik behind the net. He had the clutch goal in Game 2, the wrister that moved the bottle on the top of the Monroe net to win the game with 50 seconds left. Milan getting dirty in the corner. Back for Robertson. He loses out. He brings a Bobcat to his knees. Don't think the referee's arm came up, though. Milan, Robertson with the shove, gives some space for the Rock Lobsters to breathe. 3.5 left to go in the third. Johnson, tricky little puck for Green to deal with, and the Rock Lobsters have leveled it at 2 apiece. We'll see if we get another look at that. It looks like the Blue Ridge Bobcat bench is asking questions. Let's see if we can get another good look at this. Malik Johnson just flips the puck right out in front of Green's net. And I think it's just touched in by Troy Murray, I believe. They're showing Joe Colatarsi. All of it happening so quick, but a clever pass from Malik Johnson, who just floated a puck towards Connor Green. And the Rock Lobsters have themselves tied in this contest, but maybe the Blue Ridge Bobcats have something to say about that. Andrioli gets caught up with a net. Skating hard is Picard. Has the puck in his skates. Some late game heroics once again from the Rock Lobsters. Robertson flips it past Connor Green behind his net. Case and Gallant try to poke that puck free. Thinks he keeps it in the zone. But he gets double teamed out of possession of that puck. Floated into the Athens zone. Shinkarik. Behind the net. Virgili circles around. Robertson directing traffic. Minute 40 to go. Will we see our first ever overtime period for the Rock Lobsters in this franchise's history? Virgili brought down to the ice. No call. Shinkarik back to Robertson. Flips it towards his bench. That was almost a risk of too many men. Weisblatt, Milan. Milan to Shinkarik. Saved by Green. Shinkarik kicks it to himself. Can he find a late winner once again? Shinkarik dances around. A forcing save by Connor Green. Another great wrist shot from Carter Shinkarik. Milan trying to fight off pressure, but Jakob Stahl wins that battle. 45 seconds to go. Garcia tries to send it up into the neutral zone. In front of the penalty area, a pass into the Blue Ridge offensive zone. 30 seconds on the clock. On to the right hand here, a wrister right in front of Bostedt, who makes the save. Hunter Alden will send that puck away, and we are going to an overtime period. The first time that the Rock Lobsters will play overtime in their franchise's history. It was another nervy third period for Athens after the Bobcats struck first in the third period through Devin Sanders, a wrister that found bar down on Bostedt. And then late on, the Rock Lobsters were able to poke a puck through Connor Green. Malik Johnson floated a puck towards the net of Connor Green, and then Hunter Alden caused some chaos right in front of the net, and it opened up for a wide open shot for a Rock Lobster to convert. We're going to send you to a break here. We're going to try and get you the goal scorer for the Rock Lobsters game-tying goal at 2 apiece. Coming up after this will be overtime. We're getting ready for this overtime period, the first in Rock Lobsters franchise history. What an interesting topsy-turvy tale this has been for the Rock Lobsters. Some late-game heroics have saved it for Athens once again. And we'll go to the 3-on-3 overtime period. We'll take 5 minutes, and if these 5 minutes cannot separate the two teams, we will go to the shootout. Some interesting new shootout rules in the FPHL this year. Here it goes. Off we go on the first ever overtime period for Athens. Pensive start here through the first 15 seconds. Klinecki. Having to fight off Milan. To the left, to the right, and a shot from Devin Sanders looking for another wrist shot goal. It was his wrister in the third that made it a 2-1 game. Johnson pokes it back for Shinkarik. Milan sees the new man to his right, tries to take it himself, tries to bury it through the 5-hole. And the play is stopped. Garrett Milan asking questions. He probably thinks that he was brought down. Almost looks like he's hooked as he traverses towards the net. Connor Green makes the stop in a high-pressure situation on the opportunity from Garrett Milan. Milan giving Connor Green something to think about. Not even a minute gone yet left in this overtime period. But the best opportunity thus far falling toward Garrett Milan and the Rock Lobsters. Head coach Steve Martinson will hope he could keep it that way. Looks like this second 3-on-3 power play unit will be Picard Weisblatt. Didn't get a chance to glimpse at who the D-man back is. Looks like it's Murray. Murray, I believe the goal scorer. Actually, it's Kolatarsi. Tried to check the Bobcat stream. Did not get any confirmation on the goal scorer. We'll make sure we'll get that on the game recap if the Rock Lobsters win this game. Orca Weisblatt dancing through. Shot. And it's saved by Green once again. Wow, Connor Green has looked so good in his first start of the year. This was a tender that last year went 6-20. Let's take a look at this replay. Weisblatt almost fakes like he's going backhand, goes for the wraparound, and his shot, I think, goes off the mask of Green and down. Blue Ridge Bobcats dance away with the face-off win. I'm going to take some time here. Virgili asking for Vlasov to be covered. Jakob Stahl. Mistake on the pass. Virgili for Gallant. Virgili got taken down right in front of the net. Almost had an opportunity to get some contact on that puck right in front of Green and perhaps direct it past the 25-year-old goaltender. Gallant, who's at the line. Shinkarik. Great pass to Gallant, and he scores! He scores! Rock Lobsters win their first ever overtime game, and Kaysen Gallant has his second. Already the 5th goal of the year for the 24-year-old from Alberta, and the Rock Lobsters leave this Friday game in the Hitachi Energy Center with a big win in overtime. Oh my goodness gracious, what a pass from Carter Shinkarik on the other side of Connor Green's net to find a wide open Kaysen Gallant. Not that Gallant really has much to do except just direct that puck with ease past Connor Green. No doubt that one brings Crustacean Nation to its feet as they're watching back home in the Classic City. My goodness. The Rock Lobsters with a big 3-2 win in overtime, but they are not done in Wytheville just yet. A reminder that we'll be back here at 7:30 tomorrow for another game between the Bobcats and the Rock Lobsters. Let's take a look at our 3 stars of the night for Athens. Third star of the night had to be nervous on his first game of the season and his first game as a Rock Lobster. It's going to be Jack Bostedt. Number 2, a couple of great passes, and the most crucial great pass came from Carter Shinkarik, who will be the second star of the night. A fantastic effort to find a wide-open Kason Gallant on the right side of Connor Green's net to bury the overtime winner. And, of course, the first star of the night, scoring another 2 goals, just like he did in Monroe last weekend. Kason Gallant, your first star of the night. So the Rock Lobsters had to fight back from a goal deficit twice in this game. The Bobcats took the lead in the first period thanks to a slap shot on the power play from Aaron Ryback. And then the Rock Lobsters found an answer through Kason Gallant in the second period after going down 1-0 in the first intermission. And then the Bobcats would take the lead once again. A great wrist shot from Devin Sanders in the third period. Just a 22-year-old forward finds the twine behind Jack Bostedt on a great wrist shot that went bar down. But the Rock Lobsters never wavered. They found themselves with a great opportunity thanks to Malik Johnson, who flips a puck right in front of Connor Green. It's tipped in to send it to overtime. And then in their first ever overtime effort, the Rock Lobsters find the win off the goal from Kason Gallant. A fantastic pass, cross ice from Carter Shinkarik made it. So Kason Gallant has another 2-goal effort, this time to win it in overtime. So on behalf of all of the Rock Lobster fans, and a big thank you to the Bobcat staff who granted us their stream tonight. This is Matt Rad saying so long from the Hitachi Energy Center in Wytheville, Virginia. Thank you for tuning in for this big 3-2 Athens Rock Lobster win in overtime. Kason Gallant wins it for Athens in the overtime period. We'll see you tomorrow night.